Prepare yourself to dive into one of the most enigmatic and controversial books in history, the Book of Saint Cyprian. This work, shrouded in mystery and fear, has traversed centuries as a powerful grimoire, capable of summoning occult forces and granting its reader mastery over the supernatural that few would dare to seek. We will delve deep into its origins, the magical practices it contains, and understand why, even today, the Book of Saint Cyprian continues to fascinate and terrify those who dare to open its pages. Stay with us and uncover the secrets that make this book a true living legend. Introduction to the Book of Saint Cyprian. The Book of Saint Cyprian, often referred to as the Black Cover in some versions, is a work shrouded in mystery and controversy. Its origins date back to the medieval period and are attributed to Saint Cyprian of Antioch, a figure who is said to have lived in the 3rd century, although the true authorship is debated. Saint Cyprian was an enigmatic figure, a man who, according to tradition, began his life as a powerful sorcerer before converting to Christianity and achieving sainthood. This conversion is central to the book's mystique, as it represents the transition from paganism and magic to Christian faith, embodying a duality that both fascinates and frightens. The purpose of the book is equally intriguing. It is a compilation of teachings that include everything from spells and enchantments to prayers and protective rituals. Its blend of magical practices with elements of Christianity makes it unique, positioning it as one of the most controversial and discussed grimoires in history. The work can serve both evil and good, depending on the intent of the user, which only reinforces its reputation as a dangerous book, especially in the wrong hands. The Book of Saint Cyprian is not just a manual of witchcraft. It also reflects the popular beliefs of the era in which it was compiled, a time when the supernatural was an integral part of everyday life. The book gathers a collection of magical practices that were common among the people of the Middle Ages, but which also evolved over the centuries, being adapted and modified as new editions emerged. It is this ability to adapt that has allowed the Book of Saint Cyprian to survive through the centuries, remaining relevant even to this day. The structure of the Book of Saint Cyprian. The Book of Saint Cyprian is a complex work, organized in a way that guides the reader through different aspects of magic and faith. It is typically divided into several sections, each dedicated to a specific theme such as prayers, spells, invocations, and rituals. The structure of the content varies depending on the edition, but the most well-known versions of the book usually follow a format that blends elements of Christian tradition with esoteric practices. The early sections of the book are often devoted to prayers and protective rituals, where the power of Christian faith is invoked to ward off evil and bring blessing. These parts of the book are closer to traditional devotional texts, reflecting the deep influence of Christianity. However, as the reader progresses, the content becomes darker, introducing spells and enchantments that can be used for both good and evil. It is at this point that the dual nature of the book becomes evident, presenting a fusion of light and darkness. There are several versions of the Book of Saint Cyprian, with the most well-known being the black cover and the steel cover edition. Each of these versions may have significant differences in terms of content and focus. The black cover is often considered the most comprehensive version, containing a vast repertoire of spells, invocations, and magical recipe. On the other hand, the steel cover is rarer and generally focuses on even more occult and mysterious practices. These differences reflect the adaptations the book has undergone over the centuries, with each new edition being influenced by the cultural and religious context of its time. Another important feature of the book is the inclusion of detailed instructions on how to perform rituals and spells. In some versions, the book even provides the necessary materials and specific words that must be spoken. These instructions are often accompanied by warnings about the dangers of performing such practices without proper spiritual preparation, which only heightens the aura of mystery and danger surrounding the book. The Book of Saint Cyprian has also undergone various alterations and additions over time. As it was passed down from generation to generation, its content was adapted to include new practices and beliefs that emerged, especially in Brazil and Portugal, where the book became particularly popular. This ability to evolve and adapt is one of the reasons why the Book of Saint Cyprian continues to be a reference for many, even in modern times. Magic and Witchcraft in the Book of Saint Cyprian. The Book of Saint Cyprian is widely recognized as one of the most iconic grimoires, containing a vast array of spells that address various human and spiritual needs. The magic described in the book ranges from simple practices, such as love and protection charms, to more complex spells that promise wealth or revenge. This diversity of spells reflects the rich tapestry of popular beliefs that permeated medieval and Renaissance societies, where the book originated and evolved. Among the most common spells are those intended to attract love or strengthen emotional bond. These enchantments often use natural elements such as herbs, candles, and other symbolic objects, and are accompanied by words of power that must be recited at specific times of the day or night. The underlying idea is that through these rituals, the practitioner can influence the energies around them, manipulating them to achieve personal goals. Protection spells, on the other hand, are an essential part of the Book of Saint Cyprian. They include prayers and rituals designed to create spiritual barriers against evil forces or envy. In many versions of the book, these practices are directly linked to Christian faith, with the invocation of saints, angels, and God Himself as a way to reinforce spiritual protection. This reveals the complex relationship between magic and religion that permeates the work, where the power of Christian faith is used as a magical tool. The section of spells focused on wealth and prosperity is another central part of the book. These enchantments promise not only material gains, but also success in business and financial life in general life. Some of these rituals require symbolic sacrifices, while others depend on repetitive gestures or the recitation of specific words over several nights. These spells were especially popular in a time when economic insecurity was a constant reality, and the search for supernatural means to ensure subsistence was common. However, one of the most controversial areas of the book is dedicated to spells of revenge and curses. These enchantments are designed to harm enemies or bring misfortune to those who have wronged the practitioner. It is in this part that the book reveals its darker side, where the power of evil is explicitly invoked. Many of the revenge spells include detailed instructions on how to perform rituals that can attract evil spirits or channel destructive energies. These practices are often accompanied by warnings about the risks involved, highlighting the danger of manipulating such forces without proper knowledge and spiritual preparation. The duality present in the Book of Saint Cyprian, which blends magic and Christian faith, reflects the beliefs and practices of an era when the boundaries between the sacred and the profane were fluid. The book is a testament to how people dealt with their anxieties and desires, seeking solutions both in faith and in magic. This complexity makes the Book of Saint Cyprian a unique work that continues to fascinate and divide opinions to this day. The controversy surrounding the Book of Saint Cyprian. The Book of Saint Cyprian is undoubtedly one of the most controversial and feared grimoires throughout history, generating a mix of fascination and repulsion. The controversy surrounding the book begins with its very nature. A work that compiles teachings of magic, witchcraft, and prayers, merging occult practices with elements of Christian faith. This duality causes it to be seen both as a source of power and as a dangerous instrument of malevolent forces. For some, the Book of Saint Cyprian is a powerful tool capable of granting the practitioner control over the spiritual world. Its spells and rituals are used with the hope of achieving personal goals, whether for protection, love, wealth, or revenge. However, this positive view is starkly contrasted by a deeply negative perception among many religious individuals and scholars. The Catholic Church, for instance, has historically condemned the use of the book, considering it a heretical practice and a dangerous deviation from true Christian faith. The fear was that the book could lead people away from God and toward pagan or demonic practices. One of the reasons for the intense controversy is the way the book is perceived as a gateway to the spirit world, something that can be both fascinating and terrifying. There are numerous stories of people who claim to have experienced negative consequences after using the book. These stories often include accounts of hauntings, bad luck, or inexplicable events that began after performing rituals described in the book. It is believed that by manipulating forces that are not fully understood, the practitioner may inadvertently attract malevolent energies or entities that can bring misfortune and chaos. Moreover, the content of the book itself contributes to its sinister reputation. Many of the spells and rituals require sacrifices, both symbolic and, in some cases, material, which may include offerings of blood or other elements traditionally associated with black magic. These practices are seen by many as inherently dangerous and morally questionable, fueling the belief that the book is a tool of evil. The Church's view of the Book of Saint Cyprian has also helped to fuel its dark reputation. Over the centuries, the book has been labeled as a forbidden text, and in some eras, its possession or use could result in severe punishments, including excommunication. Even today, in more conservative religious communities, the book is regarded with suspicion and fear. Some priests and religious leaders still advise their followers to avoid the book at all costs, claiming that it can open doors to evil that are difficult to close. However, this prohibition and the aura of mystery surrounding the book have only increased its allure for many. The fact that it is seen as something forbidden and dangerous continues to attract the curious and practitioners of the occult. For some, the Book of Saint Cyprian is not just a grimoire, but a symbol of resistance and power, something that challenges established religious norms and offers a mystical alternative for dealing with life's difficulties. This controversy surrounding the book, between fear and attraction, the sacred and the profane, continues to make the Book of Saint Cyprian one of the most enigmatic and debated texts in the history of magic and religion. Its legend persists, fueled by stories of both success and tragedy, serving as a symbol of a world where spiritual power is a double-edged sword, capable of healing or harming depending on how it is used. The cultural impact of the Book of Saint Cyprian. The Book of Saint Cyprian has had a significant cultural impact, particularly in countries like Brazil and Portugal, where it has become a reference point both in the field of the occult and in popular culture. This grimoire, with its promises of power and control over the supernatural, has deeply penetrated the collective imagination of these societies, being mentioned in urban legends, spiritual practices, and even in literary and cinematic works. In Brazil, the Book of Saint Cyprian has gained an almost mythical reputation, often associated with popular magic practices and syncretic religions, such as Umbanda and Candomblé. The book's influence can be seen in how it is used in rituals that blend Christian elements with Afro-Brazilian spiritual practices. Despite its European origins, the book has been adapted and reinterpreted within the Brazilian cultural context, seen by some as a spiritual guide, while by others as a dangerous work that should be avoided. Portugal, too, has embraced the book as part of its cultural heritage. For centuries, the Book of Saint Cyprian circulated in printed and handwritten versions, read by people from different social classes. The fear and fascination the book inspired were palpable, especially in rural areas where belief in the supernatural was stronger. The figure of Saint Cyprian, with his story of conversion from sorcerer to saint, became a paradoxical symbol of protection and danger, reflecting the ambivalences of popular faith. The cultural impact of the book also extends to the field of literature. In Brazil, The Book of Saint Cyprian is frequently cited in novels and short stories that explore mysticism and the supernatural. It is portrayed as an object of desire capable of conferring power, but also as a cursed artifact that brings misfortune to those who use it without due respect. The book's presence in literary narratives highlights its role as a symbol of hidden power, something that remains on the fringes of society but continues to exert a strong attraction. In cinema, the book has also left its mark, appearing in films that explore themes of magic, witchcraft, and superstition. In many of these works, the Book of Saint Cyprian is used as a key element in the plot, representing the danger and allure of the occult. Its presence in pop culture is a testament to its enduring relevance and the way it continues to capture the imagination of people. Moreover, the internet has played a crucial role in revitalizing interest in the Book of Saint Cyprian. In forums, blogs, and YouTube videos, the book is discussed, analyzed, and even sold in digital versions, making it accessible to a new generation of practitioners and the curious. This digital popularity reflects how the book, despite its antiquity, still finds relevance in modern times, adapting to new forms of communication and knowledge dissemination. The cultural impact of the Book of Saint Cyprian, therefore, goes beyond its esoteric content. It serves as a window into understanding the anxieties, desires, and beliefs of different societies over time. Whether seen as a magical artifact, a cultural relic, or a symbol of spiritual resistance, the Book of Saint Cyprian remains a powerful cultural icon, influencing generations and fueling popular imagination with its stories of power and mystery. The Book of Saint Cyprian and Religious Syncretism. The Book of Saint Cyprian is a work that remarkably exemplifies religious syncretism, particularly within the spiritual traditions of Brazil and Portugal. This syncretism refers to the blending of different beliefs, practices, and religions, resulting in a fusion that enriches the original content of the book with diverse influences, especially those from Afro-Brazilian religions and indigenous traditions. In Brazil, syncretism is particularly evident in how the Book of Saint Cyprian has been incorporated into the practices of Umbanda and Candomblé. These religions, themselves a product of syncretism between African traditions, indigenous beliefs, and Catholicism, found in the Book of Saint Cyprian a complementary tool for their magical and spiritual practices. The spells and prayers within the book were reinterpreted and adapted, often blending invocations of Christian saints with offerings and traditional rituals from these religions. For instance, a protection spell might include elements such as candles and incense, while also invoking an entity from the African pantheon or a Catholic saint, creating a powerful combination of beliefs. This adaptation process was not one-sided. The content of the Book of Saint Cyprian was enriched by these influences. In some editions and versions of the book, one can find references to practices and entities that are clearly derived from African or indigenous traditions. For example, some invocations in the book may reflect direct influences from African religious practices, such as the use of sacred herbs or the invocation of orixas, which were integrated into the original European content. Beyond African influences, the Book of Saint Cyprian also absorbed elements from Brazilian indigenous traditions. The close relationship these cultures had with nature and its spirits was incorporated into rituals using natural elements such as plants and stones, and in practices seeking spiritual healing through a connection with the earth and its energy. These practices, often passed down orally from generation to generation, found in the Book of Saint Cyprian a written record that helped preserve these traditions within a broader context of magic and spirituality. In the Portuguese context, the religious syncretism surrounding the Book of Saint Cyprian is less influenced by African and indigenous traditions, yet it remains significant. The strong presence of Catholicism in Portugal led to the book being frequently reinterpreted within a Christian framework, where its spells and rituals were adapted to be compatible with Catholic faith. For example, spells that might originally have had a pagan or magical connotation were reinterpreted as prayers or devotional rituals, invoking saints and Christian figures instead of older supernatural entities. The Book of Saint Cyprian, therefore, is not just a grimoire, but also a symbol of the human capacity to merge different spiritual traditions into something new and dynamic. It reflects how beliefs can evolve and adapt, incorporating elements from various cultures and creating a syncretic spirituality that resonates with the needs and context of its practitioners. This syncretism is one of the reasons why the book continues to be so relevant and widely used, transcending cultural and religious boundaries to become a true spiritual and magical icon. The modern use of the Book of Saint Cyprian. Today, the Book of Saint Cyprian continues to exert a significant influence, both among occult practitioners and those curious about the esoteric. Its modern use reflects a blend of ancient traditions with new approaches that have adapted to the technological and cultural shifts of the 21st century. Although the book has roots in the past, it remains relevant and is widely used in contemporary spiritual practices, especially by those seeking to connect with supernatural power in a direct and personal way. One of the most notable aspects of the modern use of the Book of Saint Cyprian is how it has become popular in the digital age. With the advent of the internet, access to the book has become easier, allowing new generations of practitioners and enthusiasts to discover and use it. Nowadays, digital versions of the book can be found on specialized websites as ebooks, and even within online communities that discuss its practices and meanings. This democratized access to the book's content has enabled its expanded use, ranging from traditional rituals to modern interpretations that blend magic with elements of pop culture and new spirituality. Furthermore, the Book of Saint Cyprian has found a special place in online communities and esoteric groups. Forums, social networks, and YouTube channels dedicated to the occult frequently discuss the book, sharing experiences, interpretations, and new ways to use it. These digital spaces function as true communities where knowledge is exchanged and new practices are developed. The book, which was once passed from hand to hand in physical versions, is now disseminated globally, gaining new adherents and keeping its tradition alive. In contemporary practice, the Book of Saint Cyprian is often used as a guide for performing rituals and spells that cater to various needs, from love and protection spells to more complex rituals for prosperity and banishment. The book remains a versatile tool. In some cases, practitioners adapt the traditional spells from the book to align with their own beliefs or personal circumstances, maintaining the essence of the rituals while incorporating new elements that reflect the cultural and spiritual changes of modern times. Another interesting aspect is how the Book of Saint Cyprian is used alongside other spiritual and religious practices. It is often combined with elements of astrology, tarot, or other forms of divination, creating a hybrid spiritual system that draws on the power of various traditions. This is particularly evident in esoteric communities that seek an eclectic approach to spirituality, blending teachings from different sources to create a personalized and effective practice. Beyond its use in rituals, the Book of Saint Cyprian also continues to be an object of study and academic fascination. Researchers and historians of the occult and religion explore the book to better understand the magical traditions and popular beliefs that shaped its creation and dissemination. This academic interest has helped to legitimize the book as an important cultural artifact, highlighting its relevance in the history of magical and spiritual practices. The Book of Saint Cyprian remains a powerful spiritual tool, both for traditional practitioners and those looking to explore the occult in a contemporary way. Its ability to adapt to modern times without losing the essence of its teachings is what ensures its continuity and relevance, making it one of the most enduring and influential grimoires in history. The Book of Saint Cyprian is more than just an ancient grimoire. It is a portal to a world where magic and faith intertwine in mysterious and powerful ways. Today we explored its origins, its spells, and the cultural impact that still resonates in our lives. If you want to continue unraveling the mysteries of spirituality and the occult, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Together, we will continue this fascinating journey through the shadows and light of esoteric knowledge. See you in the next video.